Time now for an in-depth look at the market news today, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Soo-young, Professor of Finance at Chung-Ang University. Professor Soo, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me again, Devin.
Well, U.S. stocks bounced back overnight, almost 5% after the huge fall the day before. Of course, the coronavirus and oil prices still weighing heavily. What's the story in the global markets and here in Korea?
Yeah, particularly the rebound of the Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500 in United States and the Nasdaq Composite has reflected the current impression among the investors globally, which implies that it's reflection of the investors' mind about the flight to quality, which means that relatively U.S. economy is already stronger than the other global economy. So relatively people's investors look for safe haven. That's why these stock market index has reflected that despite the sudden cut of the Federal Reserve's rate of interest in the week ago by almost 50 basis points. So the current situation is because of the uncertainty and the risk premium over the world economy has becomes very high, and that's why investors try to purchase the U.S. stocks and bonds, long-term bonds, and even sometimes gold. That's why we have seen that there is a surge of the U.S. stock market.
Well, we can see the coronavirus is now having a real impact on economies around the world. Last week, as you mentioned, the Fed responded with a rate cut. We're hearing about a rate cut, emergency cut in the Bank of England as well. No real effect from those moves yet, as far as we can see. But what do you make of that response?
Yeah, that is the real effect of the interest rate cut is overshadowed by the spread outbreak of coronavirus globally. That is clearly reflected in the market data, particularly in the United Kingdom. The FTSE 100 has been dropped by 9 basis points, and particularly, usually Japan's stock market has been regarded as a safe haven, but right now the Japan Nikkei 225 has been dropped by almost more than 2%, and also the yen, the value, the currency yen has been dropped against U.S. dollars. So that is a little bit different from the past experience when the world economy is in risky situation. Usually the Japanese yen and the Japanese stock market moves together with the U.S. dollars and the U.S. stock market, but not this time. That is a clear distinctive difference between the U.S. and Japan. And right now, that is clearly the impact of the coronavirus is severe among the investors' mind, particularly about the Japan, is negative. It has negative impact on that.
Indeed. Well, aside from stocks, another huge shock as we started the week, the price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia sending oil prices crashing. Where do you see oil going at this point?
Yeah, actually today, on this day, the rebound in the global stock oil just disappears. On Wednesday, totally the oil market and the stock market, particularly for the crude oil and some West Texas intermediate, just the price has been dropped by more than 1.8% and 1.9%. So I think the fears from the investors' mind about the oil price is expected to decline over time, because right now Saudi Arabia and Russia has no other way to produce more and sell as much as oil possible. But the problem is because of the coronavirus currently worked against the supply side, particularly the factory workers cannot participate in production. That's a supply shock. However, I'm not sure about whether the coronavirus has negative impact on the demand side, particularly the people's just fall into liquidity trap, and then they refrain from spending time. Even the coronavirus outbreak, the speed of the spread is declining. That is the key issue we have to watch over the next month or next week about whether the people's intention to consumption will be recovered soon. If it will be recovered, then we could see the V-shaped, very quick rebound of the economy. Otherwise, combined together with a supply shock and contraction of the aggregate demand may result in a really serious recess in the upcoming month.
Right. We'll be watching those numbers for sure. Professor Song, thank you so much for sharing your insights today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.